Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Big Brain Time Debates. Not really a podcast anymore, but it's certainly debate, and it's big and brainy. Today we are arguing, what's the best Star Wars quote? We've each brought one prepared to argue for its sheer poetic Shakespearean brilliance. I'm Seth.
Oh, I'm Jared.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Ira.
I'm Ryan.
Our special guest host, who we have mentioned in the past as our secret meme dealer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kyle and I are always sending memes back and forth.
Ryan, do you want to start us off?
Sure. So the quote that I have picked off is it's from Rogue One. It is, "I am one with the Force is with me." It's by Chira Imwe. I think that it's just as a Star Wars quote, it just kind of expresses best of all of the trilogies, really. Just the idea that from the OT that the Force, binds us all together and it connects all of us. From the prequels, where they take it from like the midichlorian standpoint, where midichlorians are like cells or even organelles. It just the idea of like abundance of midichlorians creates a stronger connection to the Force. Even though if you don't have a strong enough connection to channel the Force, you still, just because you have midichlorians in your body, you are connected to the Force in some way. And then same with the sequels, where they basically say everyone has that connection to the Force. Everyone is in their own way a Force user. I just feel like that quote, "I'm one with the Force and the Force with me," it's a good connector of all the trilogies.
An argument from Unity.
Good quote. Good quote. And it is used a lot in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he chants it like all the time.
As much as I dislike the midichlorians, that does make me feel a little bit better about them, I can say, because I can see that better as a better connector between all the movies.
Wait, why do you dislike the midichlorians?
Midichlorians?
Midichlorians.
Midichlorians. That could be a song. I don't know.
Why do you dislike them?
I don't know. Like, I don't like the biological. I guess I don't like the biological. What is it? The biological explanation for the Force, but it's what it is. I like it when the Force was mysterious and spooky.
I fell in love with Star Wars from the prequels. I never really had a problem with midichlorians because it was like a tangible connection that I could make to the real world. Everyone in the world could be, say, a bodybuilder, but you have to work towards it. It's the same thing with a Force user. I'm sure somebody who has very few midichlorians could still work to have at least a small connection to the Force because they have that in their blood.
I want to lay out an argument for this particular quote. Anakin says to General Grievous, "General Grievous, you're shorter than I expected." I want to lay this out for you guys. This is objectively the best quote. Now, imagine you've just faced death like multiple times in a few hours, and you've been captured. You don't have your lightsabers, and you're being stared down by a 7'2" killer cyborg with asthma, and you still have the inherent audacity to make fun of this thing staring you right in the face. That is objectively funny. Objectively funny.
No, it's not an opinion, it is a fact.
Facts don't care about your feelings. And let me tell you something, dear. You must have been the facts, because you didn't care about my feelings.
It is a fact. It is objectively funny.
The sheer audacity of Anakin is what has driven this series from the start.
Like, come on, man. How?
And I'll go with you a little bit here. I think the reaction for Grievous is just to look at him for a second and then just cough.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's already pretty cranky as it is, and also, let's think about Grievous for a second. Like, his whole persona is that he kills Jedi. He's literally got their lightsabers in his cave. You can see them when he opens it, and he all he does is just slaps droids around and
Fits with slap chop. You're gonna be in a great mood all day because you're gonna be slapping your troubles away with a slap chop. Now look, here's a potato. One slap, you got big chunks for stew. Two slaps.
I remember in the Clone Wars, Count Dooku was like, "Stop killing droids. These things are expensive." And he's like, "No, they'll never learn." Like, and then Anakin's just like, I thought you'd be a lot taller. Come on, that is brilliant.
I have to say, it's a terrible quote. I hate that quote because it gets quoted to me every time that I show up for a date that I meet on Tinder. I mean, it might be my fault for saying I'm 7'2", but height's just a number.
Oh, brother,
You're 7'1", right?
I think we need to talk about your dating habits. My quote that I have chosen to argue for as the best Star Wars quote comes from Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, when the Millennium Falcon is running headlong into an asteroid field to escape the encroaching Star Destroyer fleet with TIE fighters right behind him. 3PO tells Han his chances of making it through the asteroid field without dying, and Han says, "Never tell me the odds." And I like it, number one, because it's a bold statement for Han's character. He's like, I don't care, we're doing this anyway. He's very brash and roguish, and he's just gonna go. He's like, even if there's death, he's gonna go into that asteroid field to rescue his friends and everything. And number two, I think it also speaks to, like Ryan mentioned, the rest of the saga's whole, because a lot of Star Wars is the underdogs going up against greater odds and coming out on top. Did anyone expect a little starfighter to bring down a battle station the size of a moon? No. Did anybody expect a crazy bearded man to jump down in front of a Jedi-killing cyborg and say hello there? No. Did anyone expect Yoda to just go hog wild on Count Dooku? No, nobody did. It's always about the possible underdog overcoming the odds and claiming victory. And I think that quote from Han, "Never tell me the odds," is kind of the attitude of a lot of the heroes and protagonists in Star Wars.
Yeah, definitely to add to that. I mean, that reminds me of in The Force Awakens when Rey asks, "Is that possible?" And Han's response was, "I never ask myself that question until after I've done it." Mm-hmm. So I feel like that it very much complements the character and what the heroes do throughout the saga.
I'm fascinated by how the picks so far have kind of shown what each person believes Star Wars to be. For Kyle, it's about the underdog. For Ryan, it's about the force and the unity of it all and the possibilities. For Jared, it's about the sheer audacity of that little chump Anakin. Really deep, Which begs the question, Ira, what do you believe the best quote to be?
I'll be kind of honest here. I'm still having a tough time deciding because there are a lot of great quotes, and now your statement about each quote being kind of what we believe Star Wars to be has all of a sudden made me change what I want to say again. So
you can't use that Jar Jar Binks quote anymore, can you?
Please, for the love of the Lord, I was hoping no one would use a Jar Jar.
Isn't like 90% of his lines Misa?
Yes.
And actually, I was going to go with McClunky, but I decided to change that.
I came this close to my quote being "How wooed."
How wooed.
I bet when they were doing the auditions for Jar Jar, they were like, "Okay, we need you to say two things: Misa and how wooed."
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, Ira, I could give you a little more time to decide and just give my argument for a quote.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it. Go for it.
All right. So the Star Wars series, ever since episode 5, I'd say episode 4 not quite so much, but ever since episode 5, it's been the family soap opera of the Skywalkers ruining things. And because of that, I had to pick the best one about that, which is, I am a Jedi like my father before me. All jokes aside, this is a fantastic dramatic line. Luke refusing to give into the dark side, and not only saying that he's going to be a Jedi, but claiming his father as an inspiration, even though the father is the guy he's been fighting this whole time. Kind of drawing out the best of Darth Vader's humanity. And I was really tempted to put Han Solo's response to Kylo Ren asking, "What do you expect to see if I take off this helmet?" And he responds, "The face of my son." Because then Han has learned, kind of emulating that hope that Luke has. And I don't know, all jokes aside, that line is just like, oh man.
Yeah.
I can't believe no one picked an Obi-Wan quote.
I got so close to another happy landing, but I just couldn't do it.
I was considering arguing for hello there, but I really don't know how I could do that.
I still love when they're in the arena and in episode 2, and there's there was like 2 lines. I can't remember one of them, but one was where Anakin's like, they're chained up. He's like, "We came to rescue you." He's like, "Nice job."
And then, I think when Padme's trying to free herself, we've got to get out of here and save Padme. Oh, she seems to be on top of things.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is right. That man carried that series. He carried it.
His back must have hurt from carrying that.
Oh, of course.
Same with Adam Driver.
Mwah.
So, Ira.
You're stalling, Ira.
Giving time, Ira.
You can smell.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to choose a quote that's ubiquitous across all the Star Wars movies, and is like, something that it's not only can just apply to Star Wars, but it can apply to our own lives. It's just that I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. That's a good line.
That just speaks. Number one, like, in the Star Wars universe, we know that the Force exists. So, like, insights like that aren't something to just be discounted, because it could be, like everyone's, small, like Ryan was saying about, everyone has a kind of connection to the Force. So, when somebody says, "I've got a bad feeling about this," it's not just like some, random insight that you can just discount. You got to take this seriously. And in our own lives, we have these sorts of insights. Maybe we don't have the Force, but just saying "I've got a bad feeling about this" is not something to just simply discount. We all have these subconscious feelings that these are something we need to pay attention to, and and we all have to go through bad things in our lives, and recognizing this feeling within us, just saying it out loud that I have a bad feeling about this. It's just a universal thing. That's all I can argue with that, really.
So it's the power of intuition.
Exactly. Or like within Star Wars, just the power of the Force in general.
So would you say you could summarize the entire Star Wars saga using that quote as being anxiety?
You could say it's the Star Wars universe in general. There's always something bad happening eventually.
I guess so.
We've had 3, 4, 5 Death Stars now, however many there are.
It's the audacity.
No, actually, no. Make that 1,000.
Yeah, it's been thousands.
Decision time.
Oh boy.
Time to argue whose is the best.
Woof. Woof.
That would be my dog. That's his decision.
I have to say that all of your lines are great, but I don't think they will ever match the guts that Anakin had to roast a 7'2" asthmatic robot with 4 lightsabers and battle droids surrounding him.
To be fair, Obi-Wan roasts him later too. It's
Yes.
just a little more literal.
But he had his lightsaber, and he could yeet out of there if he wanted to. They could not. It was much harder for them to yeet out of there, let me tell you. And after all they went through that day, Anakin was probably like, "It's my lucky day. You know what, General Grievous? You're pretty short. You know, like that's brilliant. Brilliant."
Well, I'm going to concede my quote to throw my vote behind Jared. The sheer audacity of that little chicken nugget, that soon-to-be asthmatic Darth chicken nugget. Anakin
Actually,
Skywalker.
he's gonna be a burnt chicken nugget at the end by the end of that movie.
Even though he looks like a burnt chicken nugget. This lovely
get your spicy, crispy chicken nugget, Darth chicken nuggets at Wendy's.
Like a boss.
through Grubhub.
I'm still sticking behind mine. I like my never tell me the odds. I think that encapsulates a lot of what Star Wars is about. Though I will admit, I cannot diss the fact that Anakin roasted General Grievous.
As much as I love the prequels and I love all of the memes that came out of it, I feel like I might have to side with Ira, just because I like the courage that Luke had. It's the same, just without the witty banter. He doesn't insult Palpatine, but he does say, I'm not afraid of you. I'm willing to stand up for what I believe in," kind of thing.
I think you mean Seth.
Or yeah, I'm a Jedi like my father before me.
Yeah, that was
that. Yeah.
I like that one too. I do really like that one.
You know what? I'll also throw mine behind Seth. Why not?
Seth abandoned his point.
And I still won!
He still won.
What do you have to say to that, Jared?
Actually, wait, isn't it a
You know,
tie?
Seth, you're much shorter than I originally thought you would be.
No! Roasted again. I shouldn't have thrown that. Oh well.
Well, I guess, hey, if you've been roasted, I guess, Seth, if you say that you are 7.2, I guess it's just time to go turn yourself into a cyborg, get some extra arms.
Maybe lose a lung, because you have to cough a lot.
All right, I'll take it. All right, any closing thoughts or statements?
I don't like
All
sand.
right. You like sand?
I don't like sand.
Oh, I don't
God.
like sand?
I don't
It's
like
rough.
it either.
It's irritating.
I should
Yeah.
argue for that one. That's a great line.
Not like you, though.
We could have
We
made that
probably
our
could've-
next debate. Is sand good?
Sand.
See you next week, audience.